Hello, this is Steve from Beato's Leatherworks. Today's project is the somewhat vintage Allenedmonds Chester model shoes. Now, the customer's request was changing the size and also the style of the shoe. This is an 11.5 triple E. He wants them into 12D. Now, the trick is that he wants a different shape. He wants a 12D and a 65 last. 65 last is a much narrower shape, refined toe rather than what he's got now. We sourced out a last, which is the exact same shape as what he wanted. I already started the project here, put the footbed on there, trying to get that contour of the footbed. Now we've got one here that is half done. This will give you an idea of the difference in the shapes. Okay, now the trick with relasting or resizing any type of wingtip, it's not always possible to do, because depending on the size what we're trying to make it, it really throws off the balance of the pattern. So, but this particular one, I knew it would work because we're only extending it about half a size. So I know wetting the uppers and trying to pull that toe wasn't going to do too much distortion on the pattern there. All right, let's get started. Here goes nothing. Another day, another dollar. All right, man. It's a slow start today. Sometimes you just don't feel like, you just don't feel it, you know what I mean? I mean, you're good, you're here to work, but your mind and your body don't communicate sometimes. This is a pretty sturdy shoe, even though it's probably over 20 years old, you know? It's definitely different than today's models. I mean, look, every manufacturer will go through, I don't know, learning experience, I guess, evolving. Sometimes they crunch numbers and to see what works best and what it did in the past. Sometimes new owners will come in and want to change things around. Today I've got my Vibergs on. Oh man. Hoi! Cool. I'm going to be doing hopefully something with Viberg boots in the future. I'll keep you guys posted. It's a pretty comfortable boot, actually. Wore it about 6 days straight, I would say, and no issues whatsoever. Very comfortable. I've got a thin insole in there. All right, back to these Allenedmonds. Let me show you guys something. Originally, Allenedmonds were advertised as no shanks, right? Very flexible shoe. This is not a shank. Some people think this is a shank, but it's not. This is a fiberboard piece of material they put in here because they thought it would be a good idea to have the nails attached to that, because most of the Allenedmonds do not have an inner sole where you can see all the nails. Okay, most shoes basically when you're nailing it, let's take a look at here. For example, see this one here? This had a thin sock liner that covered all the nails and everything else. Allenedmonds, most of the Allenedmonds, not all of them, most of them will have a leather footbed that you don't see any nails coming through. So in order for the heel base to attach itself, not just attach it to the leather sole, some of them will have this piece in here to attach the nails to that to secure it a little better. Does it help? Yeah. I mean, if you look, how many nails do we have on here? We have 7 nails on the heel base, right? How many of them caught it? 3, maybe 4th one right there. So if you're going to do it, you need to do it a little bit larger than the nail pattern, and it's got to be exact spot for those nails when they come in to hold on to that. But it's not too bad. And this is as old as this is. There's not an issue with the heel coming off. And if you look, it was just nailed on, literally just nailed on. There was no glue there, none whatsoever. So little details there for you. All right, let's continue. Some of my friends are awake today. Now most of the time I'll go ahead and clean all the thread around the sides, these little threads that you're seeing here. And to clean the cork and all that. But the problem is that, that's not a problem, but since all that's got to be replaced, I just didn't feel like sitting here picking all the stitches one at a time like that. Well, sometimes you get lucky it comes off in one piece. The biggest problem is going to be these little staples. See if I can show you guys. Gotta focus on that. There you go, these little staples that you guys are seeing. Right there. You guys see those staples? Be a pain in the butt to remove. And they're stapled all the way around the edges. There's one right there. A few of them right there. Basically, that is done in the lasting department, where they pull the uppers onto the footbed and staple on the edges right there to keep the uppers in place, so they can put the welt on. But man, those staplers are just a pain in my ass, because it's just not regular staples going through. It goes through and it opens outwards. It's just the way they cinch it together. It's just a pain in the butt to remove, but we got to remove it. It's got to be done. Part of the job. Let me see if I can remove one to show you guys. Look at that. I'll put it against my gray beard so you guys can see it. Man, I'm getting gray. Who the hell is this guy looking at me? God. Maybe it's time to put some shoe polish on here to darken it up. All right, let's continue. This is half done. I think it turned out very cool. It's got a new toe counter, it's got a new heel counter. All the lining is conditioned on the inside. You got a new footbed in, new welt, obviously. So it's gonna look sleek when it gets done. A very nice shoe. So lately I've been getting some requests for resizing and jobs like this. Now you can't, this is not a, you can't do this job on every pair of shoes. It just doesn't work with some patterns. Had a customer send me a pair the other week. People, please get in touch with me first before you send me something, because it's going to be a waste of your money going back and forth with postal charges. Don't just send me stuff, please. Just can't do that. That's not how I run my shop. I need to know what you're sending. I need to know if it's possible. You need to know approximate cost. There's a lot of ifs along the way. If I can do it, or if I want to take the job on. So just don't box something up and say, hey man, just make them this size, all right? Just do it. It doesn't work that way, man. What you thinking? Come on. Like, for example, if it's like a mock toe stitching, like this, for example, right? You can't make this smaller. It's going to throw off the toe pattern. You just can't do that. Is it possible to unstitch it from here and move everything back? Maybe, but not all designs are a good candidate to be reworked like this. And besides, you know, I quoted this customer anywhere from $900 to $1,300, and he okayed it. So I think we're going to be around like a $1,200 charge for some this type of job. So this is the gemming. The gemming is a piece of fabric, piece of canvas that gets glued on the edge, and the vertical part right here, like that. The uppers come in, the welt gets stitched on, and voila, you've got a shoe. Just some notes I made. That's going to be in the bottom of the shoe. I'd like to see somebody's face when they're undoing, you know, when they're repairing it down the road. The hell is all this scribble on here, man? Now this type of job requires a little bit of knowledge of, I guess, of shoemaking, which I always say I'm not a shoemaker. I'm really not, you know. I've never really studied it, but I get the fundamental aspects of shoemaking. Just, I can understand it pretty good. My dad used to make shoes, but he never showed me the technical details of actually, you know, how to design, how to measure, and all that stuff that goes with shoemaking. I guess my background in just repairing and custom making leather goods leads me to this path here, where I'm kind of taking on a taking on a chance on getting these done. Now, this is not the first one I've done in the past. You know, I've done a few of them, quite a few of them. And I've had only one issue that I'm still trying to resolve. It was Tony's boots. Tony's watching. Brother, I haven't forgotten about you. You're in my thoughts, not every day, but every time I walk by your boots. So issues happen, unfortunately, and you got to be careful, you know. So lately what I've been doing is that I've been assembling them halfway and then basically sending it back to the customer, make sure it fits properly before I put the finishing touches on it. So, but this particular one, he knows the size, he knows the shape of the last, so I think it should be okay. Wish me luck. Let's continue. This damn thing ever worked? Jeez, come on now. Oh, a runaway bush. So we are getting there slowly but surely. I've got everything stretched over. We're going to let this dry because the metal, my mind just went blank. All right, let's start over. Because the last has a metal tip here, I can't nail this into there to secure the toe down. So I stitched it down to kind of secure it that way. So by the time it dries, it'll be ready for the welt to be stitched on. And she is looking pretty good. We're getting there slowly but surely. Man, that sucker's loud. It startled me too. Yeah, buddy. No, it's fabric. I don't want to. It's not going to work. This time I'm not going to forget to take the laces out like last time. All right. Here we go. Be nice to have the proper tools for this. I guess I only got my hands. Oh yeah. All right. Woohoo! Happy man, happy man. All right, let's continue. All right, so now we got to put the midsole on. I use a 7/8 leather thickness. It gives a nice structural support. Most of the time, midsoles don't come that thick, but it's a good upgrade. Did I forget to say hammer time? It's not really hammer time. I only do hammer time when it comes to the soles. Not midsoles. All right, so we're coming along pretty good, I'd say. Now we get to choose what to put on the bottom. Now, the customer originally wanted day-night soles, right? Vibram has a similar product called Ethon soles, E-T-H-O-N. Now, very similar in style. The studs on the day-nights are a little bit larger than the Vibram. Now, the only issue that we've had with day-night is that these tend to be a little slippery on wet tile floors, okay? That's the only issue. Otherwise, day-night's very popular. Vibram doesn't do that. It's pretty non-slippery than day-night. I'm sure it has its issues too, but I haven't really ran across anything just yet. So we're going to do the Vibram sole on this one. We're going to do leather stack heel and a matching heel. We'll stitch it, sand it, trim it, and clean it up, and we'll be done with this project. All right, let's continue. Hammer time. I don't know why people like that so much. Alrighty. Open the door real quick to listen to our friends. They're finally awake. Whoa. Sometimes these can get a little tricky because you want to center the studs and center the Vibram logo right in the right in the middle of the arch area, the shank area here. These come in different sizes. Along with day-nights too, they come in different sizes. So you want to make sure that, as you're putting the shoes on, that pattern right there, the sole pattern, is kind of even on each at the end of the sides of the studs. It's a little difficult sometimes, depending on the shape of the shoe, but most of the time you can, a little practice would work. Center everything up. What I'd like to do with the difficult ones, like the difficult shapes, for example, if it's like a pointy shape shoe, so I put the shoe down. Let's say this is the shoe, right? I put this down like that and go ahead and mark the sole. And that shows me if it needs to be adjusted, like this one here. You see how There's more on this side and this side. So I adjust that, okay? And I cut the sole just a little bit bigger than the mark. That way when I'm putting the shoe on, the sole, I can pretty much put it exactly where it's supposed to be. Sometimes it's difficult to center that pattern, but it's not impossible. All right, let's continue. Looking good. The sewing machine, the stitcher, outsole stitcher, has thread lubricants on there, and sometimes, especially on the inside part of the shoe, the thread will rub against the uppers, and this way I'm just kind of protecting it a little bit to make sure that we don't have any issues in getting stains on the uppers, because that would be a no-no. No, 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 no. Oh Lord, I'm starting to sing early in the morning. Let's not do that. All right, continue. that little notch in the heel, that's called a gentleman's notch. So back in brother, I'm videoing. Say hi everybody now.
Hello.
Can I go back to what I was doing?
Yes.
You sure?
Sure.
So back in the days when gentlemen used to wear a cuffed pants, supposedly the corner of that heel would catch their cuffed pants and would tear the cuffs. So that's what it's there for. Now, you know, there's still people wear cuffed pants, obviously, but not as much as they used to. But we still do that. It just kind of, you know, gives it homage to the old styles. Allenedmonds does those on those heels, so that's why we did it on this heel. This is a leather conditioner, suede conditioner. It's an Italian product that's not on the market here, unfortunately. Not for consumers anyway. Yes, it got dark, but it will dry once, it will lighten up once it dries. And we are almost done with this project. Put some brown laces and should be ready to go. All right, let's continue. All right, welcome back. We are done with another project. These turned out pretty cool. It's quite a bit of work, but I like it. What a difference from what it was to what it is now. In the thumbnail picture, you see the difference between the shape, what they used to be and what they are now. I think they turned out pretty cool. All right, well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Now, in the last video, somebody was asking about this specific tool. This belongs to my father. As a matter of fact, in his picture, you can see the tool right there. That's also the company's logo. That's what I got on my sleeve here, my forearm. That's my dad. So he's using that tool. This is a Germany. This is made in Germany. I don't know how old it is, you know. I'm gonna guess 60, 70, maybe older than that. I'm not really sure exactly how old it is, but I still use it. I still use it occasionally, so brings back good memories. All right, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Can we get that number up a little bit? Just a little bit? Come on now. Anyway, so thumbs up, comment. Positive, negative, just comment. That's okay. And I'll see if I can answer for you. If you guys have any questions, give me an email at bedos@yahoo.com, bedos@yahoo.com. All right, we'll see you guys again on the next project. Take care.